Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Cynthia Ward. I am not an expert on homelessness. As a local historian, I'm hoping to offer some additional information and perhaps some context for the situation that we see ourselves in, because things are not always as they seem. We unfortunately have a paid misinformation campaign taking place that is wrongfully blaming the wrong people for this problem. They're targeting Mayor Tate and Jose Moreno for political reasons, vindictively, for not fixing something that's 110 years in the making. You talk about this needing to be done 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 110 years. In 1907, the Santa Ana Register was calling for solutions to this issue. And with the exception of 20 years that we ran a county farm in order to feed the county hospital, the county has done nothing but push people from place to place to place without actually offering them alternatives. Featherly Park was once so full of homeless families camping that a tutor went out to help the kids that were missing school. And yet the county turned that land over to a for-profit operator without helping those people find other solutions. And we wonder why they're in the riverbed. So decades of irresponsibility by the very county that should have been dealing with this. It's their issue. It's their funding. Now, I understand that was before the current supervisors. I'm not blaming them for the past, but they are responsible for our current situation while they sit on hundreds of millions of dollars that hasn't been spent. And I was glad to hear Supervisor Spitzer talk about putting the full weight of the county behind this, because there's a parcel of land that he has control over down in South County that would make a lovely shelter, and it's about time for the rest of the county to start shouldering some of the load, because Anaheim is already the low-cost housing capital of Orange County. We have more Section 8 housing than anybody else in the county, possibly because we have more low-wage labor than anybody else in the county, and we keep subsidizing and encouraging even more of it without finding out where these people are going to live. So we have mandated all this middle-class housing and failed to understand that nobody can afford it anymore, and then we ask taxpayers to subsidize it. We need solutions. We need leadership from this body. And leadership does not mean being the first one to issue a press release. We need all of you to work together and listen. And listening is not just sitting quietly until you can rebuke someone else. Listening means sometimes the person you can't stand has an idea that might work. And the only way that we're going to get to that place is if you all do it together, and we are counting on you to do that. The real emergency of homelessness around here is our response to it. Good night.
It's my perspective, damn it.